Hey guys, it's your girl Vanessa Cabrera, and I am back for live stream take two. So let me confirm that I'm in live on Facebook. Yes, and I am. So that stinks. So I was super excited because for the first time I was supposed to be live on Facebook and LinkedIn simultaneously. LinkedIn canceled my event. What are you going to do? This is what happens in the tech world, right? But needless to say, to my LinkedIn viewers, we'll figure it out. Okay. All right, guys. So what's going on? If you guys are live with me, say hello. If you guys are watching the replay later, put comment hashtag replay so I get notified when you guys are watching later. All right, guys. So I'm super excited because today I get to discuss a client case study, which means I don't have to do a lot of work. You guys know me by now. I actually don't really like to work a lot. And so when the day comes when I can finally talk to my client live with you guys watching to talk about what we've been working on, all the aha moments, all the behind the scenes stuff that no one has known besides me and my client. It's pretty freaking exciting because, the implementer is not a cookie cutter program. Everyone experiences it differently. And let me tell you something. So this one I've been excited about because there was so much that went down for this client that I legit didn't even know how to title this live stream. There's three things that she knocked out of the park. And before we even went live, she told me something else that happened that's kind of like a big deal. So this is kind of how it's been with this client of mine. We've just been laughing week to week where I'm just I can't even keep track of everything that's coming your way. So without further ado, I want to bring in my client. Hello, Miss
Hello.
Azizi Marshall. First of all, how cute is her name, right? Azizi's in the house. What's up, girl?
Hey. Hello.
All right, so why don't you just take a minute and introduce yourself to our audience?
Yeah. So I'm Azizi Marshall. I run the Center for Creative Arts Therapy, and our focus currently is to help stressed out businesses with their stressed out employees, focusing on training them for their mental health and offering them support. So that's how we're showing up in the world right now as a Center for Creative Arts Therapy.
Yes, you are, and showing up big, you are. Hey, Brittany, Miss Brittany Fowler is in the house. Thanks so much for watching. Look at all the love. Can you see all the hearts that Brittany's
I
giving?
can't say
Oh
no.
my
Hi,
God.
Brittany.
It's up to 140. So Brittany is my super fan. I love her. I adore her. Every single time I go live, all I see is hearts.
Aw.
I'm like, oh, that's Brittany. I'm like, everyone needs to have a Brittany
Right?
in their
Yeah.
life because she's just so She's supportive of all women entrepreneurs. It's amazing. All right, so so Z came to me. Notice how we're just I don't even know how to lead this. Z came to me, and we had a conversation. And to be honest with you, Z, when I saw you on my calendar, because we've been friends on Facebook for a while, not really tight connections, but I've been watching you, girl, and you've been watching me, and I'm like, all right, she's been crushing it from what I've seen, right? And so when I saw you on my calendar, I was confused, to be honest with you. I'm like, what does she need me for? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, it seems, and you are, rightfully so, you were crushing it, but I was like, okay, well, let's just have a conversation and see. Um, so that's exactly what we did. And so, what was it that you were struggling with when we first started talking?
I remember I looked back and I was like, I just remember writing, I'm tired. And
Right. Yes.
because I
That's
felt
right.
like I was doing all the things and, I was Googling like how to do this, how to do that, how to show up on social media. And I was just like spinning my wheels, but I wasn't seeing the results that I wanted to. And I was like,
Yeah.
what am I doing wrong? And I had been watching you, Vanessa, for quite a long time. I had seen you work with some of my friends and colleagues. And I was like, all right, well, if I could not be tired anymore, that would be great. So
You can help
that's
me
why,
with that. That'd be
yes,
great. Yeah. I need
yeah,
sleep. Okay.
yes,
Yeah.
uh-huh. Yeah.
So, and that's a thing. I now remember, you have a good memory, of you saying that in the forum. I'm like, okay, she's tired doing all the things and whatnot. And it was interesting because, when someone books a call with me or, we start talking, I always go, surprise, surprise, to their social media, right? Not just to see what you were doing, but just to get to know you a little bit better and things like that. Um, and so I saw things that like you could tweak, pretty easily. But I was really surprised to see like to know how tired you were and that you were Googling, right? Everyone goes to Google, like how do you land
Mhm.
clients on social media? You ain't gonna find the answer, right? Because it's
No.
different for everyone, right? So Z came to me and I was like, okay. I'm like, yeah, we can certainly throw down. There's a couple things that you can tweak, right? And I knew your work ethic, and just from like your reputation in our local community, I've heard your name dropped many a times, and so I'm like, yeah, we can definitely throw down, right? So we started working together, and I'm a little bit different than most coaches. We don't jump into strategy first, right? Her first session we didn't even talk about Facebook, LinkedIn, nothing. And she's like, okay.
I was like,
I'm
what's
like,
the strategy, Vanessa? Like,
yes, yeah. First call. And she's like ready with her notes. I'm like, put your notes away. We're not talking that. She's like, what are you talking about? Right. Because the process is different for everyone, but I've been doing this for so long, and I myself had to go through my own program, right, to have my own aha moments as well. To understand is that it's not just about the strategy, right? It's something else is holding you back, right? Something else was
yeah,
holding me back, right? And so, what I learned of these past 10 years is that who do you need to become in order to get the results that you want? Right? And that was my own aha moment in going through my own program where I'm like, I know I'm holding myself back. I hold myself back in my live streams. I still have like that corporate on me, even though it's been 10 years, over 10 years, right, of being like conservative and this and that. Um, and that's the stuff that I have to work through and that my clients have to work through. But the thing is, it doesn't have to take a very long time. With you, it just took one session, right? That's how we started off. And you're like, okay, I don't know exactly what happened, but okay,
yeah.
right? And so after that, I'm like, okay, the next time we talk, we'll throw down on strategy. And you're like,
Mm-hmm.
okay. So you're just trusting the process, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so the next time we had our kickoff call, we threw down on the strategy. And so then once we got done co-creating your social media strategy, do you remember what you said at the end?
No.
You
What
said,
did,
I remember you were writing frivolously. I'm like, okay, well, this is being recorded, but you're writing frivolously, and that's her process. I'm like, that's cool. And then we got done with the strategy, and you're like, okay, what else? And I'm
oh,
like,
yeah. I was like, that's it? Yeah, that's, yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah. And you're like, this is it? I'm like, yep, this is it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Still, I can see Z questioning, right? Like, she's like, okay, this is too simple. I'm like, yeah, that's how we roll, right? So then off she went. Off Z went to implement her strategy, right? And so why don't you talk us through what went down when you actually started implementing your campaign?
Well, I gotta say, going back to what you were talking about, that first session,
Yeah,
if that first session never happened, the implementation of the strategy wouldn't have been a success
yeah,
because there were some blocks in there that I wasn't aware of
yeah,
that I felt like I had to work extra hard when I wasn't. It felt like I was failing. So for me to be able to go through that first session with you to understand, oh, that's what I'm doing, nothing else would have made a bit of difference. So to then start to throw down, and I fought you on LinkedIn. I really did.
yeah. Except for
But
today.
yeah.
Damn it. That's okay.
So I'd say being able to show up on the lives, like that was a big challenge for me to just be there, to say like, okay, here's the thing that I'm pushing, and to only focus. That's another thing. My brain likes to go everywhere.
Yeah,
So to hyper focus on this one program, the mental health at work, and really say like, this is the thing that can help you with your employees and all this stuff. And showing up with video and the posts, and again, it felt fluid. Like there were a couple lives where I was like, oh, I don't know if that was okay, but I did it, right? I pushed
Right.
myself, I put myself out there. And I think that was the biggest takeaway, is just being there, showing people who you are, showing up with the energy and the passion and the love that you have for what you're offering. That to me, like, that's what shifted things too. It's like, I'm not just popping on here just be like, here's this thing I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. It's
Right.
more of like, here's how this is going to change your life. And I'm really excited. And I can't wait to help you with that.
Yeah. And what was interesting when we first started talking, before we started working together, one thing is that I could tell, and from stalking you on social media, um, is that you really care. You're hella passionate about what you do, and you're really good at it, which is like that's who I have to work with. Like, you are an ideal client because you have the passion for it. You know your stuff. You're an absolute expert. I heard your name around town, so you're like a local rock star, right? Now you're a global rock star, but you're a local rock star. And so that's half the battle. But what happens is, and what people don't understand is that when you hold back on your passion and you're like, okay, how Google, right? How do I show up on social
Mm-hmm.
media? That ain't it, right? And so you came with it after that first session, and we worked through your own blocks, right? Of having to work hard and hustle and all that. I'm like, no, bro. I'm like, I say all the time, I'm like, I don't really work a lot. And I don't really like to work a lot, right? Like, I'm actually kind of lazy. And I tell this to my clients. I'm like, I'm actually kind of lazy. It doesn't have to be 24/7 hustle, because when you're coming at it from that angle, you're too freaking tired to
Mm-hmm.
to come to your audience with the energy needed for them to be like, Z, she's the one. We have to work with her, right?
Yeah.
And that's
Mm-hmm.
the difference. So let's talk. Let's talk about this. Is funny because I have to talk about this. So let's talk about the first week. So Z, she made the decision that she wanted to throw down on LinkedIn, right? So her goal was to get corporate contracts, right? She's like,
Mm-hmm.
Vanessa, I want to get corporate contracts. I'm like, all right, cool. And so she decided that she wanted to throw down on LinkedIn, and go that route, right? So, so what happened the first week when you're like, I'm all in on LinkedIn?
I threw a mini tantrum, just a mini one. I dug my heels in real deep into the ground. I was like, no, I can't stand this, because I was so used to the feedback and the support that I had with Facebook. Like, I
Yeah.
knew how to throw down on Facebook. I loved Facebook. I know the people who I'm communicating with on Facebook. LinkedIn is like, I did one post and it was crickets, and I'm like, Vanessa, I'm done. That's it.
This was
And you're
week
like,
one,
what?
y'all. This was week one. I started laughing so hard when I got that message. She's like, I did what I was supposed to. I can't go live on LinkedIn. They won't let me. I don't know what's going on. I'll figure it out. But like, there ain't nothing going on over there.
I was
And she's like,
salty.
oh my God. She's like, it's crickets. I'm like, it's week one and you haven't been active in LinkedIn, princess. What do you want? Right? Like, you want a parade? Oh man, I was laughing so hard. And so she's like, I'm going back to Facebook. I'm like,
Yep.
okay,
I'm
which
like,
is
that's it. I'm
fine.
done.
That's totally cool. That's totally cool. If that's your decision, totally cool, right? So if you needed to go through this and being like, yeah, Facebook, that's okay. I've had implementers where they switch midway through. They're like, I'm not feeling Instagram. I'm not feeling this, blah, blah, blah. It's just the decisions that we make keep us moving forward. So if you're like, all right, I'll focus on Facebook and then get to LinkedIn when I have a minute, cool. All right, done. So now you know, right, where your audience is. But that was hilarious, y'all. So even though Z crushed it, her first week was a little rough, and she just wasn't feeling it and was crabby at LinkedIn and like wanted to break up with it immediately, and all these things. And I'm just like, do you know how long I've been talking about the implementer? For like 3+ years, and you come at me like with week one saying I'm done. I'm like, oh my God, this is hilarious. I'm like, this
It
is,
was a bad first date,
it was a
Vanessa. It
bad,
really was.
you didn't get the love. There's no vibes, right? No vibes
No.
from LinkedIn. Oh my
Hmm.
gosh, I laughed so hard. So then moving on.
Mhm.
Moving past week one, then what went down?
After that, so I gave in to LinkedIn. So I was still putting stuff on LinkedIn, and I did notice that I was getting messages from people from LinkedIn. So I was still putting the stuff out there from Facebook as well, then putting onto LinkedIn, just not the lives. So yeah, it was nice to be able to show up in both, but just in a different way.
Yeah, yeah. So, after we got over that and she,
Hmm.
came back to Facebook, right? She made up with Facebook and went back to her first love. Um, Things shifted for you because your content was, it seemed like it was flowing much
Yeah.
different than it was before. So talk to us a little bit about what switched for you versus you being so tired and forcing it to now going back to Facebook and then starting to show up the way that you did. What transpired for you?
I would say the biggest thing is I got out of my own head.
Hmm.
um, and I didn't filter as much anymore. So the live I did when I was just outside, I was like, y'all, it's been a hard day, and so here are some things that you can do to take care of yourself if you're feeling the same way. And then another one was when I went to the Container Store. That was a fun one. I was like, I'm at the Container Store, y'all. You don't even know how excited I
Yeah,
am.
yeah,
And like how setting up a space, like I'm just even looking at my office right now, how much that affects how we work. And so
right.
if we feel good in our space and we feel organized, then I was like, okay, yeah, okay, I'll throw down the Container Store. And if I would have done that before working with you, Vanessa, it never would have happened, because I was like, oh, there's people walking behind me and I don't have the perfect shot. And so I got out of my own head and I was just like, all right, here we go. I had my coffee, I was set.
Yeah,
So I'd say I got out of my own head and was just able to be me. And I felt like prior to working with you, Vanessa, was I always had this filter on that I felt like it had to be perfect at all times. And so I think that's what was contributing to the exhaustion, was it had to be just right. And
right.
to know that I could just show up and just be me, it's almost freeing.
Yeah, yeah. That's a
Mhm.
that's a great point. I remember when we talked about the Container Store because we were having a session and we were wrapping it up, and so I'm like, so what do you got going on the rest of the week? And she's like, I'm going to the Container Store. Like she was so excited, y'all, about the Container Store. So anyone who loves containers and organization shows you some love, because she was freaking out. And so I was like, okay. She's like, I'm getting a new office and I'm doing this, and I'm like, well, take us along. And she's like, what? I go, you're so excited, right? You're so excited about this Container Store. I'm like, this is what they want to see, believe it or not, right? This is what they want to
Mhm.
see, different side. And, rather than just, and I say it all the time, like this and the branding and the name and your name and all these scenes and all this fancy stuff. That's great. But, what really hits home is when you're just being a human being first. And so if you're excited about the Container Store, I'm like, the people that you're supposed to work with, as silly and as stupid simple as it sounds, and I say this all the time, start coming. It
Yeah.
just, this is, I can't even explain it myself, right? But
Mhm.
the more freeing you are, and just being who you are, and just being like, I'm excited over the damn Container Store. Come with me. She had
Mhm.
her Starbucks,
Yeah.
and she had her cell phone, and it's all like crooked and whatnot. And she's like, ooh, this is cool, and this is cool. I'm like, we're totally shopping with Z. I love it.
Yes. I made best friends with one of the sales associates too. She remembers me every time I come in now.
See, I love it. I love it. I love
Mhm.
it. Brittany says, love seeing Mateo when he's on with Vanessa. Yeah, I've said this too to you guys, my audience, and to my private clients. I'm like, I work really damn hard at my content, right? I don't think it needs to be perfect, but I want it to deliver it in such a powerful way. And so that's my perfection that I've had to let go too. Um, but yeah, so you guys see me going live, dropping gems and trying to help you guys and whatnot. And then all of a sudden, here comes Mateo, right? We're just testing. And I was just telling Z, I'm like, I tested this with Facebook and LinkedIn. I got like over 100 views. And we're just
Mhm.
messing around, clearly trying to figure this out. I'm like, and everyone's like, what are they doing? Right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, did you check out last week's live stream? Because I dropped a really big strategy that you could use. Hello, right? It's just
Mhm.
the way it is, right?
That
Um,
was the video. Remember when I sang? when I was just, it was just
Oh
one of those
yes,
days. It was like, I just had to get it out. And
yeah,
I was singing to an Alicia Keys song. And I was like, just this is what I'm posting today. And
yeah.
like so many views on that one. It was
I know.
ridiculous.
Yeah, Z started singing. I'm like, who is this chick? Like
I
I
never would have
it's
done
just
that
so
before,
fun.
Vanessa, seriously.
No, I know, but it was just so fun. I'm like, she's having a bad day, so she's singing.
Mhm.
Oh my god, right? So all these things, Z started doing, and it started to flow. And so what I noticed was, you didn't have to be perfect, and then all these different ideas started to come to you, right? Where you're like, I could talk about it this way, and I could talk about it that way. And so this is what happens when we work on those blocks first. That's a necessity, right? And everyone's different. And then you start to show up as just who you are, silly, goofy, nerdy, whatnot, right? Um, and then something happens that your creativity opens up, and then you have all these different ideas and all the different ways that you're able to talk about your business. It's not just these are the benefits, call me, right? Like it's
Mhm.
just there's so many different ways that you can show up. And so that's what I saw from you, right? um, and I noticed that you were just much more relaxed. It wasn't forced. And then your messaging, your copy started to come out real powerful like week 3. I was like, oh, dang.
Mhm.
I'm like, I felt that one, right? So talk to us a little bit about what happened with like your copying and how your messaging just kept getting stronger and stronger.
I was so after that third week is when I started getting a lot of calls and messages, and I was hearing what people were saying as far as why they weren't going to move forward with a program or what has kept them from doing something, and how they're only focusing on May for Mental Health Awareness Month to support their employees. And so I was hearing all of these, I don't know, like excuses for not moving forward with supporting their employees. So I just put it out there. I was like, okay, so here's this thing, and this should not be a reason why it holds you back. Or why aren't businesses supporting the mental health of their employees?
Yeah.
Or how would it look like if they did? Huh. And so it was interesting then to get that feedback of, people saying, oh, well, it's this and it's this reason, and having people in different Facebook groups connect to that and go, oh, well, do you offer something like that? And I was like, oh, yeah, message me. Let's go.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. I did notice that. I think I messaged you. I think it was, I can't remember. So much stuff happened at this time, but I think it was like a poll. Did you do a poll on LinkedIn or something where
Yeah.
you're like, why aren't you investing in like your employees' mental health? Like Z, like the balls that she had with that one question, I was like, oh dang, she is not messing around, and she's calling out all these people that she's probably talked to or messaged or whatnot or seeing or whatnot. It was a flat out just calling people out on their BS of not
Hmm.
investing in their employees, right?
Yeah.
And I remember taking a snapshot, and I'm like, this is fire. I'm like, I could tell something went down. Like, like something went down with Z, and she's calling someone out somehow. But it was such a powerful post, and it didn't. And here's the thing: it didn't even matter if anyone answered, right? Or answered any of the polls. It was just the energy that you had between from that particular post was fire. Like I
Mhm.
could feel it coming through, right? And
Yeah.
so even though people didn't engage a lot with it on LinkedIn or whatnot, after week 3, like I swear to God, the sessions that we had, she was just telling me everything that was going on. Like I'm like, I don't. Do you need me anymore? Like all these sessions, like I got this, and I got this, and I got the speaking gig, and I got this contract, and I have this call. I'm like, Jesus. So there was a big switch with Z where it just started to flow, and the way that you were communicating was pretty powerful. Like that's the only way I can describe it. So, how did you feel a shift in your energy and how you were creating your content?
I did.
Yeah,
Yeah. And because before I'd be like, "Oh, okay, they don't want to," and then I'd just hang up and be sad about it. But then I realized that when I called them out on it, they ended up calling back and saying, "Oh, well, we're actually thinking about it in this other way," because they had seen my post. And even if they don't understand that it was about them, right? Because it could be about anybody that I had talked to, they connected with it, as in like, oh yeah, we have been using that excuse and we probably should call her back and actually do something now. So once the excuse was put out there, they were able to see it and make a decision to actually start supporting the mental health of their employees.
Yeah. Amazing. Amazing. I love it when you started calling them out. I'm like, who is this? Like 1 minute she's singing and at the container store, and the other one's like, really? Like this is your
Mhm.
excuse? I was like, go ahead, see. I see you, girl. I see you loud and clear, right? Um, all right. So then, it was week 3 of the implementer where just all of this started coming at you. So talk to us about, you know, what happened.
So yeah. So again, I feel like where do we start? I had to write things down because I was like, where do we start on this? So there was the contract with the hospital, and that was a lot of negotiations between the attorney and getting things set up. But
Yeah.
it was beautiful. That contract was amazing because we're hitting them in all these different areas. So there's online training on mental health for the leaders, so they can start to identify any sort of challenges and how to support their employees. And then there's a bi-weekly call where they can call in for support. So
Wow.
then, like, they've done this training, great, but now they're like, okay, so what are the resources in the area?
Hmm.
And so we have that up. So then they call in and they each have their own little private room so they can talk about any sort of employee challenges. And we can say, hey, we actually know this therapist who's taking clients now and specializes in anxiety or specializes in whatever that employee is struggling with. So they have that support. And then we have moments where we're coming in, we're calling it snack and care. So it's not just a 1 hour lunch and learn where we just talk at the employees.
Yeah.
We're bringing them together where it's like a community type of feeling, and they're having activities and interventions focusing on the arts that help them with the stress levels, especially because we're going to be on the same units with the nurses. So they'll have a place to just come in and have some sort of respite for themselves
Yeah.
before going back in. And then because they're feeling better about themselves, they're going to treat the patients even better too.
Hmm.
So that
Yeah.
was one of our huge contracts that came through that I was so excited about.
I remember, and when that came through, it was amazing because you were so excited. Obviously, it was a huge contract, but the fact that this was for a hospital, I was like,
Mhm.
man, do these people need you more than ever after what they've been through with COVID these past 2 years? Like, I can't even imagine, and respect the hell out of the nurses, the doctors, everyone that works in the hospital. I can't even imagine the stress levels that they were under going through a pandemic. So the fact that you were out there and they were able to find you where you are the solution to their problems. I mean, dude, like that's amazing. That's amazing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Huge. So that was one. What else?
that was one. And then this is the one I was like, oh yeah, Vanessa, remember that other one? It
I
was
know.
so it's a contract working with a school where we're doing inclusive arts for the students, and it's we're providing some training for the teachers so they understand how to incorporate the arts into their work, how to again identify some mental health challenges that maybe the kids are experiencing.
Yeah.
And then these kids are doing these beautiful performances, again, in a very safe way where they're being included in the general population because prior to us coming to working with them, they hadn't been.
Right.
And so
Right.
that was a huge win just for the parents of those kids, for us to come in and provide that program. And again, that was another huge contract. And from what I'm hearing, they're going to be asking us back, and that's going to be an even larger contract for next year. So, hey,
This girl is on. I think I sang that after one of our
you
sessions.
did.
I'm like, I don't even think Z needs me anymore. I'm like, I'm not even like giving her strategies. She's just like, this is going on, and I have these calls and this and that. And I'm good. I'm like, oh, okay, all right,
Mm-hmm.
go to work.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So before we went live, Z was telling me, she's like, oh, by the way, I forgot. I had actually landed 2 contracts, and one was the hospital, and then the other one was the school, which I wasn't aware of. And as you were telling me this, I'm like, man, this just so makes sense too, because these teachers have been stressed the hell out with e-learning and how did this affect our, our kids? And, even though it was like 2 years ago, there's some sort of support for them, right? Where I'm sure before they were just so in it, like the rest of us in this pandemic, and
Mm-hmm.
now coming out, it's just amazing that you have the ability to help, to like really help these people who so badly need you. Like there's so many teachers that quit. They just couldn't handle it. Who knows where they are now? Things like that. And so the fact that people are now getting to know you and seeing you and understanding that you have the solution to their problems, it's amazing. Like you're gonna help so many people, Z. It's like insane. It's so insane, and I'm just ecstatic for you. It's crazy. Okay, so what else?
Yeah. So there is, we have a nursing home contract that. So here's another thing. Like we haven't had our session yet together, so this was another
Yeah, we have
win that
our
we.
sessions tomorrow. Yeah, she's not even
So
done with the implementer, by the
no.
way.
So we've been working with this nursing home, and we got the contract when I started working with you first, Vanessa, and now they want to expand it into 3 other locations.
Wow.
So that contract is growing each time, and each time they're like, oh, okay, can we get you into this place, can we get you into this place? So they're just wanting more and more services for their staff and for their residents. So that program is growing. And then speaking gigs, we haven't talked about speaking gigs
Oh my
too.
God, that's right.
I used to just charge, right? It's like I used to charge like $500. I'm like, oh, okay, sure. I got a speaking gig for $7,000. Mm-hmm. It was massive. I was like, wait, what? Because I remember I just threw out a number just to throw out a number just to see what would happen. They're like, oh, yeah, that sounds great. Awesome.
Yeah, I remember that session
Mm-hmm.
where you're like, it just came out. You're
Yep.
like, I don't know where it came out. You're like, I just said 7,000, and they're like, okay. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's about right. And I'm like, what were you charging? 500? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, so you just set your rate
Yeah.
for
Mm-hmm.
speaking gigs. It's just, this is why we were laughing, because like this is what went down for Z. Like I couldn't even wrap my head around this. I'm like, this is insane what's going on with her. But it just goes to prove that like your audience Z, has like been waiting for you. And this is what I tell all implementers. I'm like, they're just waiting. Legit right now, they're still waiting. It's just that you're not showing up for them to clearly see you. And so when you did, it's just like floodgates open and just things just kept coming to you. So yeah, the speaking gig. Hmm.
Mm-hmm. And then the program that I'm not technically running anymore, the
Oh right.
Revolutionize Your Private Practice. I was like, oh, that'll just be there. I'll pop in every now and then to say hello in my Facebook group. And like 3 people reached out to me wanting to do the program. I'm like, I'm not even promoting that. What?
Yeah, that was interesting. So Z, her campaign, right? We were focusing on corporate contracts. So I'm like, this is what you're going to throw down. You're going to talk about this only. And then if you want to talk about something else later, you can, right? So Z works privately with other wellness people, right? Like mental health
Mm-hmm.
professionals, right? To do what you do, basically,
Mm-hmm.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
So they work privately with her to learn to do what Z does, right? How are you landing these corporate gigs and these speaking gigs and all this stuff? And so when she had that session, she's like, I don't understand, Vanessa. Please explain this. She's like, I have like 3 people that want to work privately with me. I don't have time. They have to wait till the fall. So she started a waiting list, right? And so I just started laughing, and I'm like, well, you don't understand it. And I'm like, but it's the way you're showing up. Like you started to show up as the true leader that you are. And that's contagious. It's hella contagious. So, like, as I say all the time in my live streams and my private clients and whatnot, we're all hung up on engagement, right? No one's engaging. It's crickets. It's crickets in LinkedIn. I'm breaking up with them, right? Like all this stuff, right? Okay.
Yep.
But as I say all the time, I'm like, listen, the majority of my private clients that reach out to me and I work with, they have never engaged with me, hardly ever. They're not in my group. You're one of them. You never engaged in my
Yep.
lives, but you were
Mm-hmm.
watching, right? And
Yep.
so that's the difference. So I'm like, Z, I'm like, they're watching. They are watching. I'm like, are these 3 people that reached out, are they engaging with you? Are they commenting on your lives? You're like, no.
Mm-mm.
Right. That's how it works. I don't know why or how. I don't care. But every single time someone reaches out to me, I'm like, I have no idea who this woman is. But I'm like, okay, let's have a conversation. Never
Mhm.
commented on any of my lives, likes, not my email list, not my group, nothing. Zip. I have no idea where this woman came from. But they always say, I have been watching you for a while. I hear that
Yeah.
all the time. And I know your audience has been too. So Z's like, oh, okay. I'm like, so, all right. So you have private clients just sitting there waiting till you get to them. I'm like, okay, that's about right. Yeah,
Mhm.
amazing. So, in wrapping up, did we cover everything?
Oh, therapy rocks. We haven't started
Oh,
that
therapy
yet.
rocks. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
hit it.
Yeah. So I spent probably 3 days getting these rocks, washing them, spray painting them green, getting waterproof stickers. And on these therapy rocks, the hashtag therapy rocks,
Yeah,
there's a QR code that people will scan. And it talks about them getting into a raffle, how they can enter it. And then it has a video of the Center for Creative Arts Therapy. So it's just like a marketing campaign, but also to get people talking about mental health. So that's
hmm,
part of the campaign is tell us why mental health is important to you, right? And so we can share that message and reduce that stigma and get people talking.
right.
And I just checked before I got on with you, Vanessa, and it's already had 4.6 thousand views just of that video. And I've been contacted by a TV production place to see if they can cover the story too. So there may be a TV appearance with the therapy rocks coming up in a
Of
little bit.
course, of course there is, because this is just how Z throws down. She's like, an NBC producer reached out to me. Like, you should see the message I was getting from her. I'm just like, I'm not even getting these results. Like, what is up? What what is up? It's crazy. All right, right quick. I'm going to share your website so people know how you can serve them. Let me pull it up. It's my shot. Here it is. All right. So if you want to talk a little bit about specifically what is it that you do, your program, who it serves, how you can help, all the things.
Yeah, so Artful Wellness, the workplace wellness branch of the Center for Creative Arts Therapy, really focuses on training leaders and employees and business owners how to support the mental health of their team. And the part that is sometimes lacking in some of those trainings is how to support yourself too, because when you're helping others, when you're observing them to see what the challenges are, when you're connecting with them and having those difficult conversations and connecting them with resources, we forget about ourselves. So that's an integral piece of the training is for them to not only help others, but identify things within themselves to know when they need to get support. So that's mental health at work. That's the online training that we offer. And then for businesses who want more than just this training, because the training is a 1 year access. So it's not just a one-time training and that's it. They can go back to it at any time. They can go back for all the resource sheets and all of the things that they need. But we like to go even deeper for some organizations that really want a strategic plan on how to help the mental health of their employees. So we go in and we do an assessment of the business to see what are some pieces that are some wonderful growth opportunities for the business to support their employees' mental health, things that they're already doing really well, and then how we can come in and fill the needs of the things that are somewhat lacking. So then we come back with a treatment plan and let them know, say, here are the things based on Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Here are the things that we want to start with as your base, as your foundation. And then here are some things that, as your employees had responded to the assessment we gave them, here are things that can help flesh out the rest of their needs. Here are some programs to bring in. Here are some additional trainings, some additional support. And then we go in and we work with the organizations on a deep level. So it's not just us coming in for a one-off little workshop. It's coming in with a 6 month to a year strategic plan on how to support the mental health of their employees.
Amazing. Amazing. All right, hold on. All right, see. So before we wrap up, with this crazy, crazy case study. If you can, what was what was your biggest takeaway from the implementer? What was like your biggest aha moment, turning point where the floodgates started to open? What was it for you?
I think the biggest aha moment was it was okay to just be me. And that translated in all of the things that I did in showing up for the lives, but not even that. Like Vanessa, you were with me, like in my ear when I was going in and joined the chamber, and it's a B2B group, and I had all these things like, oh, I have to be this way or this way. And I was like, no, I can just come in and be myself and feel relaxed. I had some hesitations in going to this fancy gala. I was like, you know what? I'm going to throw down with my employees and we're going to have fun. And we were the only ones dancing. But again, like
Yeah.
that would have never because it's like I had that misconception of I have to show up in this perfect kind of appearance
Mm-hmm.
as far as how I'm representing myself and my business. And then I realized if I show up as me, I'm more authentic and people can connect with who I am. And that was, I think, the biggest shift for me is just like if I can show up as me, the people who want to work with me will connect with what I'm putting out there for them. And for those who don't, fine, there's somebody else that can fit for them.
Yes.
But I want to work with clients who like connect with me and I can help them at the deepest level possible.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I got to tell you, it has been amazing. Like, this has been an incredible journey for me. You are my ideal client. Your worth ethic is insane, off the charts. This woman works, but she no longer works to death. She doesn't work to be tired, right? We work strategically. And the
Mhm.
fact that how passionate you are and how you're serving your clients, how you can really help them in such a time that it is so badly needed. Um, it's just been an honor to work with you. I'm just beyond grateful that I'm just like a snippet of your journey. Like I say, I do what I do just to start like a ripple, just like a little ripple, because I know the badass women that I work with, you guys are going to do freaking tsunamis in what you do. It's just, your audience has to see you first. So um, it's been an honor to work with you. It has been completely inspiring. You pushed me to go live on LinkedIn, right? Because she couldn't go live. I'm like, all right, let me show Z how it's done. She's pushing me, right? My clients push me. I say this all the time. My clients inspire the hell out of me. They push me to do better, right? So I am beyond proud of you. The inner work that you did is no joke. That's the real work that really matters. I always say this, that's the real work that we do. And then once you get through that, the strategy is the easy part, right? So congratulations on everything.
Thank you, Vanessa. I do have to add in here too, because while you and I focused on this one campaign, I know everything that you have taught me, how you have encouraged me to show up in it, authentically me, right? Unforgivingly me, that I can use what you taught me to then launch other campaigns. So there's like, there's many projects that I have in the works right now
Mhm.
that I know that what I learned from you, I can use for that and absolutely crush it and know that that's also going to be a successful venture for whatever I decide to do.
Yeah,
So thank
yeah.
you.
You know what to do. You know what to do now. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Z. Thanks so much for
All right.
joining. All right, guys. Insane, right? I was so excited for this case study. Like I said, I didn't even know how to title this thing because so much went down in the 3 months that Z and I worked together, and she's not even done with the with the implementer. But there was so much happening. I'm like, we need to do this case study now because this is just going to be too much to like tally by the end that she's done. So if you guys were feeling this case study, if you're still stuck, if you are exhausted like Z, if you're Googling how to show up on social media, how to land clients on social media, that ain't it, right? I am now accepting applicants for new implementers. So I'm going to put the link in this live stream. So you just click on that link. You need to apply to become an implementer. It just gives me more information on where you're truly at right now, what's really going on with you, and how I can help. All right, guys? Yeah, yeah? Does not have to take years. Look at Z. It's not even been 90 days. And everything that she's accomplished is amazing. Yeah, guys? All right, guys, thanks so much for joining us, and I will see you online. Peace.